So come into a comfortable seat of your choosing, either virasana or sukhasana or siddhasana, simple crossed legs, or siddhasana is the one where your heel comes in, the center is rounded. So whatever makes you cozy. Take a moment to ground the thighs downward as you lift the heart upward. So we're continuing on with the sutras about one of the rays of consciousness that start from the heart. There are 5 of them. They divide into pleasant and unpleasant. And the one for today, the ray is called misunderstanding. So pertinent in so many ways. But I think it's kind of cool that misunderstanding is considered a ray of consciousness, because it just normalizes all of the ways that we as humans kind of get in our own way and mess things up. So what the sutra says is that basically talks about, we often assume with certainty that whatever thought we're having or feeling we're having is correct. And the idea of returning consciousness to the heart center is really what clarifies that misunderstanding. So anytime we come home to the essence of ourselves, come home to the essence of the heart center, the directional arrow of the rays that extend outward, that returning the direction inward kind of resolves all misunderstanding. That's the gist of it. So as you sit, you extend the spine. Now just take a moment to take your hand in the center of your heart. Let your eyes close. And bring your awareness to your breath. And start by just noticing the gentle rise and fall of the in-breath and the out-breath. As you breathe in and out through your nose. And as you breathe, just anchor your awareness in the space in your body beneath your hand. Your energetic heart center. Just let your awareness rest in the center of your heart as you observe your breath. And start to integrate your awareness of breath with the center of your heart, just imagining that your breath is entering and leaving your body through the heart center. As you breathe in, just feeling your hand rise a little bit. And as you breathe out, feel it settle a bit. As you breathe in, feel the inner space of your heart center expand. And as you breathe out, feel the outer space of your whole body soften. As you breathe in, just imagine the sphere of light in the heart center. As you breathe in, just imagine it expanding, growing, the color, whatever color comes to mind, just a sphere of light beneath your hand. And as you breathe out, a feeling of warmth spreading outward from the heart center. Just imagine the sphere of light as a container, a positive emotion of your choosing. It might be love, it might be peace, it might be gratitude. And just breathing in, you feel that sphere grow, drawing in the feeling of your choosing. And as you breathe out, sense of extending outward, bringing warmth, Spreading that feeling through every fiber of your being. And try 3 more breaths in that way, focusing on the heart. Breathing in and out through the heart. Inviting in positive emotion of your choosing. As you breathe in, extending it out to every fiber of your being. As you breathe out. And then release your hand down. Pause for a moment to just observe. Just whatever awareness comes to mind as you intentionally return your awareness to your heart. Just what do you notice? And then softly open your arms, make your way to all fours with your blocks at the top of your mat. And come into child pose. Knees plenty wide. As you sit back, let your elbows also be plenty wide. Let yourself just kind of softly fold in here, your forehead resting down. Breathing in through your nose, take your breath into your low belly as you inhale, as you exhale. Feel your back body settle down, so the hips settle back, the spine between your shoulder blades soften. And as you practice today, just occasionally return your awareness to that heart space, inviting in the feeling of your choosing. Maybe just awareness that here you are with your breath and your body together in harmony. And then inhale, come on up to all fours. Take your knees under your hips. Take your pinkies as wide as your mat. Come into a tabletop shape. Press your finger pads down. Press your arm bones towards your leg bones and draw the crown of your head forward. So you're drawing your shoulders away from the ears. Take an in-breath here. Feel your whole spine lengthen. As you exhale, really connect the feeling of every finger pad and knuckle pad pressing. Starting with your tailbone, inhale, lift the tailbone, come into cow pose, one vertebra at a time. The heart lifts, the head lifts, and then as you exhale from the tailbone, round the spine. Move slowly and rhythmically on your breath, tuning into the whole body as you breathe and move, and just noticing whatever sensations inside your body will start to wake up for you as you move in this cat-cow pose. And then after your next exhale, come into a neutral tabletop pose. Again, actively press your hands down and slightly in and draw your arm bones a lot back towards your leg bones. Extend the crown of your head forward. And then keeping that feeling in your arms, tuck your toes, lift your knees, and come into downward facing dog. And start out alternately bending your knees. Connecting and getting index finger knuckle, all your knuckle pads down, and then reach both heels and thighs back. Bend your knees if you feel like that gives you more length in your spine. And then reach your arm bones back towards your thighs with the armpits lifting up. Take a deep in breath here. And a softening outer body, even though you hold the shape, softening outer body on the exhale. Try that again. Inhale, feel every bit of your spine lengthen. Exhale, outer body soften. And then walk your hands halfway back to your feet. Anchor your heels down. Again, whether your knees are bent, doesn't matter so much, but do anchor the heels and press your palms. Lift your armpits up and stretch your whole spine. So knees can be bent a whole lot here if that allows for longer spine. But really press the palms, lift the armpits. As you exhale the breath, spine between the shoulder blades, just let it soften. Walk your hands all the way back now. Hold the elbows, let your torso drape. Feel your heels pressing. And then rock your hips a little back, a little forward. Land with your hips over your ankles, lift and stretch your toes, and then gently place them back down.
Draw the inner thighs from the inner knee up to the groins. Just lift that up a little bit. And then take your hands to your hips. Take the elbows back as you inhale, come all the way up. And stretching the fingers upward, join the palms. Take the index fingers straight out and inhale, lift up. And then exhale, float the arms back down. Inhale, take the arms overhead. Take your right wrist with your left hand, press the palm up. And then as you exhale, lean over to the left, anchoring the right heel actively down to the floor. Take a breath in here. Coil the heart up a little bit more, the arms back a little more. Find breath here in the right side body. Inhale, come on up, and then exhale, release the arms. Inhale, the arms up. Okay. Catch the opposite wrist, press the palm up, and then come on over to the right side. Anchor the left heel down. Inhale, lots of breath here on the left side body. And inhale, come on up, exhale, release the arms down, clasp your hands behind your back now. Reach the knuckles towards the floor. Take your thigh bones back. Reach the arm bones back and draw breath here all the way up to your collarbones. Extend the crown of your head straight up. And then exhale, release with your arms just by the side of your body. Come into Tadasana. And find your breath here as you inhale. Okay, breath just kind of rolling up the front of your body all the way to the collarbones. And as you exhale, feel your shoulders softening down, heels rooting down. Good, then come to the top of your mat. Blocks are at the top. You take your feet just hip distance now. Parallel though to the edges of your mat. Come back into Tadasana and take your arm bones back a lot, so much so that your elbows point back, elbows bent a little bit. So as you take the arm bones back, bring your awareness to the spine between your shoulder blades. Just feel it coming inward, forward towards your chest, and then spin your palms out, keeping that shape of the upper back. And inhale, take the arms up, palms facing. Take the arm bones back again, thumbs reach back. Inhale, lift the pinky side of your hand up. Exhale and fold in, bring your hands onto your blocks, fold on land. And then pressing the heels, inhale, come into a flat back. So crown of the head forward, arm bones back towards your leg bones back towards the back side of your mat. Take a lengthening in breath here. Good, exhale, fold in again, elbows point towards your legs, let your head drop in. Inhale, come into a flat back, bend your left knee and float the right arm up on the in-breath. So pressing the heels, inhale, open the heart forward. And then as you exhale, take the knuckle side of the hand to the back of your hip and coil the heart up. If that bothers your shoulder, you can take the hand in the front of your hip. Coil the heart up here. Let your head lean back a little bit. And take a breath here all the way up to your collarbones. Exhale, fold in. Take that right hand to the outside of the left shin. Coil the elbows away from each other. Peek out of that left armpit. In this position, as you extend your elbows away from each other and take a breath in, just feel into the space between your shoulder blades. It's a nice little stretch here. And then release that hand, come back into a flat back. Inhale, lengthen the whole spine, arm bones towards the leg bones towards the back of your mat. Exhale, bend your right knee. Inhale, flip that left arm up. Lengthen the spine on the in-breath. As you exhale, take the knuckle side of the hand to the back of the hip. Coil the heart up. Take your head back. And then inhale that arm up and take it to the outside of your right shin, elbows away from each other. Peek under that right armpit. Just breathe into your body. Feel into the space between your shoulder blades. Nice stretch for that space. And then inhale, come back into a flat back here. And exhale, fold and slide your blocks a little forward. Step your feet back into plank pose. Take your hips a little higher than your shoulders for now, and then shift your weight so that your shoulders are over your wrists. Press your arm bones back towards your leg bones, and then lower your hips with your low belly lifted. You're just one straight line. Find your breath here.
As you inhale, just feel the whole spine lengthen. As you exhale, see if you can bring your awareness to the spine between your shoulder blades and let it soften a little bit more. Take one more in breath here. Exhale, drop to your knees and press back to child pose with your armpits lifted. Finding length here. From the heel of your hand all the way back to your hips. Inhale, come back up to your hands and knees. Grip your sticky knot so your thumbs point forward and press the thumb pad into your mat. So you should feel like you can kind of pull your mat away from one hand away from each other. So you create tension on the mat. And then doing that, draw your arm bones towards your leg bones. And then keeping that, tuck your toes, lift your hips and come into down dog. So the idea with the gripping the mat is you're pulling it away and activating the arms in such a way that you really can feel the spine between your shoulder blades come forward towards the chest. As you inhale the breath, just find that length along your spine. As you exhale, reach the heels and thighs back. Lift the armpits towards the ceiling. And then inhale your gaze forward. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Bend your knees. Feet parallel. Hold the outer opposite shin bone and hug in. So even in this position, with your knees bent, elbows moving away from each other, you feel into the spine between your shoulder blades, getting a nice stretch. And then pressing the heels down, hug your thighs snug to straighten your legs either part way more or all the way more. Exhale, take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back, take your time. Inhale, come all the way up, hook your thumbs here. Reach the fingers up, root the heels down, and take the arm bones back. Take the thighs back as well, lift your tailbone behind you, and just start to reach back, a little standing back here. Thumbs pressing away from each other, and fingers stretching away. Up and draw breath all the way up to your collarbones. Good, exhale. Release the arms back by your side. Hook your hands behind you again, reach the knuckles towards the floor. And then take the hands rather to the right rib and coil that elbow back. So your forearm is supporting your low ribs. Press the heels, take the thighs back, and then coil the heart up. Shoulders down. Good, exhale, release the hands down. And bring them over to the left side. Take that elbow back and lift the heart up. Good, release the hands back down by your sides. Tadasana, take the arm bones back. Heels, root, thighs back, heart up. Inhale the arms up, palms facing. Exhale, release your hands back onto your blocks. Fully. Inhale, come into a flat back here. Arm bones towards your leg bones, crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold in. Take your blocks with you to the sides of your feet. Take your left foot back and come into a lunge on the right side. Reach the heel back, reach the crown of the head forward. If you need support under your knee, put a blanket under your left knee and take the left knee down. And then come on up with your hands so blocks can be low or they can be tall. So come up with your hands in your blocks, your shoulders over your hips. And you can keep your hands in the blocks if your low back is happier without, or you can take your hands to your hips and really coil the elbows back. Coil the elbows back. You can keep your left hand on the block, or you can take your left hand to your left calf and take the right arm up. And take a deep in breath here all the way to your collarbones. Take the right arm going way back. And find your breath here from the bottom knee to the top finger. Just a coil of steady inhale on the front body. And then exhale, release that hand down. Blocks back by the ankles, lift your back knee up. Step your front foot back, so both hands steady on the blocks. Step your front feet back, beautiful plank pose with your hips a little higher than your higher than usual at first. And then lift your low belly and start to lower back into a plank pose with your hands on the blocks. And find your breath here, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, really feel the hands and feet connect, and then start to lower, just partway down. Keep the low belly lifted and then press back up. Try that 2 more times. Lower partway down. And then press back up. Notice when you lower down, the spine between your shoulder blades really comes in. Come back up. Drop to your knees, take them wide. Press back to child pose, make the blocks stand. Stretch your arms long, let your forehead rest, find your breath here. Then inhale, come on up and take your forearms now. Line up parallel with your mat, press your finger pads, your knuckle pads. Once again, step your feet back. Air with the hips a little high at first, engage your low belly towards your spine, and then lower your hips coming into a forearm plank. Take a long in breath here. Good, then exhale, lower the hips. Uncurl your toes, take your feet a little wider. Anchor the tops of your feet down, lift your tailbone up. And inhale, lift your heart up. Good, then exhale, 1 vertebrae at a time, lower all the way down. Take your forehead down. Take your thumbs in the middle of your chest, anchor your hand print. Coil the elbows back and inhale, come into cobra. Good, and then exhale, come back down. And try that again. Elbows in, inhale to cobra. Exhale, come down. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Fingers as wide as your mat. So if you like the grippy sticky mat, you can do that again. Otherwise, recreate that action, arm bones towards the leg bones, ground the head forward. Commit to down dog with your feet together. And keep the armpits lifted. Awareness in the spine between your shoulder blades really coming in. And then inhale your right toe high to the sky. Exhale, right heel to your bum. Spin the knee up and look under your armpit. Inhale, lengthen the whole spine. Exhale, take that into your chest. Hover for a breath. Step that foot all the way through. And then take your left foot into warrior 1 position. So heel back, toe towards the front corner of your mat. Take your hands to your hips. Turn your hips forward, anchor the back heel down. Take the elbows way back. So find that spine between your shoulder blades forward, shoulders down position. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to that front knee. Find your breath here. Feeling the heels really rooting on the exhalation of the breath. Feeling that back foot, little toes on the foot presses so the arch lifts. And feel that lift all the way up to the groin. Take the arm bones back, take the heart up, the gaze up. Take a deep in breath here. And then as you exhale, reach forward from the hip, lift your back heel, pause here, getting length from the back heel through the top fingers. Exhale, lower the hands down, step your back foot forward. You fold in, crisscross your forearms, hug your shins in, upper inner thighs, back and forth. Take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back. Inhale, come all the way up. Clasp your fingers, take the index finger straight up, thumbs back. Exhale, take the arm bones back, thigh bones back, heart up. Inhale, come back up to neutral. Exhale, release your hands back. Inhale, the arms out. And exhale, arms wide, fold in, hands to the front of your shins. Inhale, come into a flat back here. Exhale, fold the blocks at the side of your feet. Take the right foot back and come into a lunge here. Lengthen from the back heel through the crown of your head. And then take the right knee down. Slide your blocks back, come upright here. And then hands can stay on the blocks wherever height suits you. Just keep your low back happy. So part of that is lifting the tailbone towards the up up, like that way up, not tucking it under. And then try your hands on the hips if your back's okay with that. Coil the elbows back. Your right hand can stay on the hip or block, or take it down and take the left arm up. Thumb up, arm going back. Draw breath all the way up to the collarbones. And then exhale, lower that hand down. Take your hands back in the blocks by your ankle. Take your back knee up. Set that front foot back. Coming back into plank pose, low belly really lifting, shoulders over your wrists. Again, lower part way down. And then press back up. Come down. And come up. And come down. And come up. Drop to your knees, set your blocks out to the side. On your breath. Soften your elbows here. Just let your elbows bend, be wide. Then walk your hands forward, come up onto your hands and knees. Take your knees together behind your hips. Lift your low belly, come to knees, chest, chin, comes. And then lower the hips all the way down. Take your feet apart. Take your hands mid-chest, coil the elbows back. And then you'll come into cobra. Good, and then exhale, come down. Come up to your hands and knees. Take your knees under your hips and take your forearms back onto the mats. We're going to do a forearm down dog. So anchor the palms, anchor the fingertips. Line your forearms parallel to the edges of your mat, and then clawing your mat, draw your heart forward. Spine between your shoulder blades soften. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips, walk your feet in a little bit, rock way back on the balls of the feet, and let your head drop. And press the forearms down and lift the armpits towards the ceiling. So find that spot between your shoulder blades, let it soften. And then exhale, come back to your knees together, uncurl your toes, sit back on your heels. And let your head drop down. Walk your hands back by your feet with your palms up. You just take a couple of rests and breaths there. And then inhale, come back up to all fours. Legs together, come into downward facing dog. And anchoring the knuckle pads, the finger pads, and reach the armpits up, the legs back. Inhale, take that left toe high to the sky. And exhale, left heel to your bum, spin the left knee up and look under that left knee. Inhale, the left toe high to the sky. Exhale, left knee to adjust. And then step that foot all the way through. You take your right foot a little bit forward to heel back the toes towards the front corner of your mat. Take your heels to your hips and turn them forward. Draw the elbows backward. And you're going to take the arms up, palms facing. Exhale, bend the front knee. As you take the arms back, and then just go way back. Heart goes way up. And take a deep in breath here. Exhale, root through both hands. And then reach forward from the hip. Lift your back heel up and find length in the back heel, come into the front fingers. Good. Exhale, lower the hands down, step your back foot forward. You take your palms to the back of your calves. Anchor the heels, draw the elbows forward, heart put down. Again, as the elbows go forward, just feel into the opening in the space between your shoulder blades. Then take your hands to your hips, elbows back. Inhale, come all the way up. Press your palms and finger pads together. You take the thumbs back, the arm bones back. Inhale, find a spot midway between your feet. Connect that with the space between your middle fingers and just draw a breath straight up that line. And as you exhale, you
You feel breath flow down the back body, from the back of the arms, shoulders, hips to heels. Take one more in breath. Exhale, release your arms by your side, come into Tadasana. We'll take a breath here, just noticing heart center. We'll be expanding along the in-breath. Maybe the arm bones need to go a little more back. Everything softening on the out-breath. Just notice that opening in the front of the heart. Good, and then take your blocks by the sides of your feet. Have a strap. You don't have to not leave it. Yeah, a strap. With your hands on your hips. So go the other way. First, take your left foot back. And turn your hips towards your front legs. So back heel angled a little bit back. And then go ahead and bend your knee. And take your hand on the block in the front of your leg. And then come into a side angle position of your leg. So use your arm to press the leg back. And then inhale, take that left arm along by your ear, side angle pose. And take your tailbone towards your back heel. And then you should inhale, just feel the whole side body stretch. Take your left arm bone a little more back. And with your right arm, press into your leg a little bit more. So the heart starts to open here. And then take that top hand behind your back, knuckle side of the hand to the back body again. If that bothers your shoulder, you can keep your hand in the hip and open here. Let your head roll back. Have a deep in breath here. As you exhale, take that left hand out to a block, take your right hand out to a block, lift your left heel up, come into a lunge. And then step your left foot forward. And fold in. Put the elbows back, hands on the blocks. Press the heels, sideways back. And then exhale, take your hands to your hips. Take the elbows back, inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to your heart center. To your hips. Now take your right foot back. Angle the heel back, turn the hips forward. And bend your left knee, same direction as your toes. Take your hand on the block on the inside of the ankle, and then let the hips settle down. So press the heels, take the tailbone towards that back heel, and coil the heart up. Use that left arm pressing into your left leg to open the inner thigh a little more, and then inhale, take that right arm long by your ear. Find your breath here. Lengthening from the back heel all the way through the fingers. And then take the top arm bone back a little more, hard up. And take the knuckle side of the hand to the back of the hip and coil the heart up. And a full in breath all the way up to your collarbones. And grounding out breath, hips to heels. Inhale the arm up, exhale, take one hand to each block and lift that right heel. Coming into a lunge. And then step the right foot forward and fold in. Point the elbows back at the crown of the head pointing. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Take the elbows back as you inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, take your hands to your heart. Bring your hands back to your hips. Take your left foot back. And take your strap and just put it about that front block. You're going to come back into the side angle and maybe take a line. So go ahead and bend your right knee. And start with your right hand on the block. And use your arm to press that leg back. So taking a bind in this pose looks like this. You take the top hand up and the bottom hand under. But many people can't reach, so you can use the strap with the left hand and just kind of feed it between the legs. And then feed that. So if you're using a strap, what's that mean? So if you're using a strap, just kind of catch it in each hand, come back into the lunge. Start with your hand in the block just to get yourself grounded. Yeah. And then bend your knee, same direction as your toes. Take the tailbone toward the back heel. And then just walk your hands as close as you can get them up straight. So use your body leaning into your leg to open the heart up. The right arm presses into the right. Thigh bone, tailbone toward your back heel, about normality, and then turn the heart up. One breath here, all the way back to the collarbones. Top elbow goes back. You should definitely feel your spine between your shoulder blades going forward towards the chest. You don't have to take the bite. You keep your hand in the block like you had it before. Just move that, find your bone. And then if you have a strap, exhale, release the strap. Take one hand to each block and lift your left heel. And then step that back foot forward. Elbows back. Round the head down. We'll take your hands to your hips, elbows back, line up. Then your arms overhead. And exhale, hands through the heart to your hips. Right foot back. And then just put the strap on that front block for now. Take your hands to your hips. So I go to back heel out. Bend your knee and take your hand onto the block. So let yourself get grounded here, settled. So the thigh bone drops towards the floor, tailbone goes towards your back heel. And then no strap, looks like this. You reach the arm up, you angle your thumb towards your back heel, and bring the hand behind your back. If you need the strap, you can fling it back. You can catch your strap between each hand and use your body leaning into that back thigh to really boil the heart up. Take the top elbow back. Feel the spine between your shoulder blades go forward towards your chest. Draw breath all the way up to your collarbones. Good, then exhale, release the hands, one to each block. Move the back heel. And come into a lunge. Good, and then exhale, step that back foot forward. Elbows back as you hold it. And then take your hands to your hips and elbows back as you come up. Move the arms over you. And exhale, take your hands to your heart, thumbs at your sternum. Take your arm bones back so you recreate that feeling of the shoulder blades going towards your spine. Then draw down towards the hips. Just notice when your hands press, that makes it easier to do that action. Shoulder blades towards your spine and towards your hips. Take a breath all the way up to your collarbones. Breath all the way up to the heart center. Arms, legs, walk to your mat with your strap within reach. And your blocks within reach. Bend your knees. Like you're throwing me, just keep my neck. And then walk your feet in so that your ankles are under your knees. So take your strap here. Put it across your ankles and then finish that position. Finish that strap across the ankles, but opposite sides for a moment. Take your elbows by your ribs. Press the elbow tips down. Lift your shoulders and tuck them under you a little bit more. And then drop your chin. So when you do that, you should feel the middle, the inner edge of your shoulder blade should be away from this. And then drop your hands to over your strap. And just walk your hands down your strap and rest so your elbows are straight. And you can keep that back of the shoulders connected to the floor position. Drop your chin towards your chest and inhale, lift into bridge pose. So again, you want to have a snug hold on the strap so your elbows are straight. Actively press your shoulders down.
And draw breath all the way up to the collarbones. Press your heels and point your knees straight ahead in the direction of your toes. Find your breath here. As you inhale the breath, maybe lift your hips a little higher. As you exhale, firm connection with the heels and also the back of your shoulders. Good, then lower your hips down. Release your strap, walk your feet a little wider and your knees nothing. Set the strap off to the side. Then I don't want you to turn your head in that position, so watch for a second. So we're going to recreate that action of your shoulders, palms press. And this time as you lift your hips, you're going to walk the shoulders under, elbows in a little bit more, and with your thumbs inward, you're going to take hold of your hips. So thumbs are in, I'm holding the lateral side, outer side of my hip with my hands. And then I'll talk you through the subtleties, but the idea is you press the heels and let your hips really come into your hands. And if your shoulder doesn't permit that kind of lift and support in your hips, you can either just keep your palms flat or you can use the strap. So if you're going for that position, ankles are under your knees, knees and toes straight ahead, that's true for all positions. Take your elbows by your sides, press the elbows down, put over your shoulders under, and then cross the palms down. Lift your hips up. And then rotate one shoulder under you a little more than the other. Take your thumbs out of the hand into the sacrum, cradle the outer hip with your hands, fingers up, and press into the heels. Stay there. I'm going to come down just to have a look. So stay there. Yeah. So heels are definitely grounded, Molly. Yeah. In Hollywood happens when you try to put your hands under. My arms are too long. Thumbs inward. Yeah. Elbows closer together. Yeah. Drop the chin towards your chest. Rest the heels down and really coil the spine between your shoulder blades towards the chest. Take a breath here all the way up to your collarbones. And then as you exhale, release your hands, lower your heels, rest with your back flat. And let your knees flatten. We'll try one more. You choose strap or no strap. So start with your knees pointed to second with your toes. Walk your feet in. Take your elbows by the side of the ribs. Press the elbows down, palm facing. Coil the shoulder blades a ton. So your spine should not touch the floor, nor should the inner edge of your shoulder blades. Press the palms with your hips. And then roll one shoulder under you and then the other. And then press the elbows a lot and take your hands into that thumb to the sacrum, hands on the outside of your hips position. Anchor from the shoulder to the elbow, really press down, whatever position you're in. Actually round and then sort your heels, press down. Inhale, breath all the way up to your collarbones. And then exhale, release the hands. Lower the hips, drop your chin. So just find the same neutral position. Take a resting breath with your knees knocked in. Good, and then just take a look. I'm going to show you, demonstrate another variation of this. So you've done a bridge before with a block, I'm sure. You're going to take your block to support the sacrum. And this time, the difference between what you've normally done in this place, you're going to recreate that shoulder blade in, press the palms. And then extend your legs as much as your lower back will allow. So if the block is too high up, like in the lumbar region, it won't feel good at all in the back. So make sure it's under your sacrum. And also that your thighs roll in, so your inner ankle bones go towards each other. So start with your knees bent. And then lift your hips up and slide the block under your sacrum. So just your tailbone is just barely off. And then take your elbows by the sides again. Coil your shoulder blades towards the ceiling. Drop your chin so that the neck should feel happy like that. It's not like your head is arching back. And then take your palms flat. Roll your shoulder blades under a little bit more. And then just maybe part way, feet together with your knees bent, just extend your legs part way, check in with your low back. Keep your gaze towards somewhere. And then you try, just, what feels good to you. Spine at the toes lift. Keep the heels grounded though. Keep the inner ankles rolling towards each other. Keep your gaze at the heart. As you inhale your breath, just feel a flow of breath from the feet all the way to the collarbones. And as you exhale, feel the back of the shoulders ground. Notice the support beneath your hips. Actively roll your thighs in so your inner ankles push towards each other. Stay for another breath or two. Walk your feet in, pause there with your knees bent. Reach your shoulders a little bit and take your thumbs up. Press into your heels, lift your hips inside that block. Lower your hips down and pause here. Just kind of find a neutral spine position. And then now take both knees to your chest. Take your thigh bones just hip distance apart. Drop your chin towards your chest. And then either with your palms or your forearms, drive your thigh bones invert chin, definitely drop you towards your chest. Take a breath here from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head for the whole spine lengthen. Lower belly expanding as you breathe in. And then thigh bones dropping forward, back body connecting as you breathe out. Right, then release your left foot to the floor with your knee bent. And take your right knee right in the center of your chest. Or kind of a line straight ahead, I should say. Just invite the right thigh in and then slide the left leg out with the heel down, toes up. Anchor that left thigh bone down. You can even use your left hand just really anchor the left thigh bone down. And then take your right hand to the right, left hand to the outer thigh. And take that leg over to the left as you turn your head to the right. Take that knee all the way over, even if your right hand lifts a little bit, that's okay. Just keep your shoulder curves, keep your hand to your hip. And then play around with how close to your shoulder that left knee goes towards or away. Just sort of find your sweet spot there and then hold in that shape. Take a deep in breath from the extended leg heel all the way through the crown of the head. So you're kind of breathing up along the center line of your body. And as you exhale, just allow your whole body to unravel. If it bothers your head to turn and look towards your right thumb, just look at the ceiling. And just breathe and notice. And slowly inhale, take that right knee onto your back, take that right knee back into your chest, drop your chin. And then bring your left knee up again. Then bring your right foot in, or invite the left thigh bone towards your chest. Slide the right leg out one, heel down, toes up, reach the heel away from your hip. And then take the left hand left and take the thigh bone all the way across your body to the right. Again, turning your head towards the left hand. If your neck is okay with that, if not, you can look at the ceiling. And then finding that sweet spot, how near or away that knee goes towards your shoulder. And once you find it, just holding there, noticing breath, noticing your body responding to your breath. As you breathe in, maybe a little more life, a little more space between each vertebrae. And as you breathe out, just an unraveling of any tight spaces in your body. And inhale, slowly come up, and back onto your back, right that left thigh bone in toward your chest. And then bring the right leg up. Drop your chin, hold your palms, your forearms, really feel every bit of the back of your body connected with the mat. Length from the tailbone to the crown of your head, with the chin drop, the back of the neck should feel nice and long. And then bring your feet flat on the mat again, knees bent. Take your arms out away from your shoulders and bend your elbows like goalposts. Spread your fingers. And then press the back of your shoulder into the floor and tuck your shoulder blades under your leg. And then drop your chin. Press the back of the shoulders and the elbows just enough, not overdoing it, but just enough that you're aware of activity in the back body that connects to opening on the front body. So as the shoulders and elbows press back, you feel an opening in the front body. You can stay here, or only if your shoulders allow this range, or you can take your palms under your hips. So if that's not accessible, stay in that goalpost position. And then once your hands are here, let the full weight of your hips press into your wrists, your palms, and tuck your shoulders under you a little bit more so that you feel like from the elbow tip to the wrist, you can press the forearm down. The spine between the shoulder blades should absolutely lift. And again, if you don't have this range, keep your arms in that goalpost position. And then extend your legs one at a time, palms of the feet together. Inner ankles rolling towards each other. And you can stay in this position. In this position, the forearms from the elbow tips to the fingers absolutely press. Spine between the shoulder blades lift, and the shoulder blades are off the ground. Or you can come into final fish pose. You press the forearms, lift your whole upper body off the floor, and let your head drop down. Inner ankles towards each other, hauling a lot more down. And take a breath here all the way up to the collarbones. Come out of the pose, actively press the forearms down, lift your head, tuck your chin, lower the shoulders. And bend the knees, lift your hips and bring the arms back into that goalpost position. So chin drops, back of the shoulders to elbows press. And take a breath all the way up to the collarbones. Good, and then roll your knees to the side. come on up. And we're gonna use 2 blankets. So 1 blanket. Let's from this shape. We're going to turn it that way. So it's the size where it's bigger than my shoulders, that way. Hold it in half one more time, okay? This way. Yeah, and then, yep, and then turn it 90 degrees. So you got the rolled edge up here on my chin. Yes, there you go. And then make a accordion fold. So you have 4 folds in a firm blanket, and put the rolled edge towards the middle of your mat with the fringy edge at the back. And then your second blanket, make a roll for your knees. So I like this variation of Shavasana because this fold supports a little lift in the spine, the heart opening. You have to grab your eye pillows. So when you come back, you're not sitting on this one. It's just catching just below your low rib. You can pause and use the elbows pressing down to scoop the flesh of the buttock towards the heels and also to lift the chest. And then as you lay back, you want to take this extra and put enough of it, so it depends on you and your neck, just enough under your head so that your forehead is above the height of your chest with the arms by the side. Take your glasses off, put an eye pillow or strap over the eyes. And take a moment to just check in, making yourself 5 or 10% more comfortable with any subtle adjustments that come to mind. Just trust that feeling. And then settle in, aware that the center line of your body is evenly aligned, that the spine is evenly supported by the blanket beneath you, and that your arms and legs are equally distanced from the center of your body. Letting your eyes close, drop your gaze again towards your heart. Observe the natural flow of your in-breath and your out-breath. As you breathe in and out through your nose. Inviting your awareness right into the heart center. And again, noticing the gentle expansion in the heart center as you breathe in. A complete release of the whole body, especially the back body, as you breathe out. Returning to the image of a sphere of light in the heart center. Expanding as you breathe in. Diffusing light, softness, warmth in every cell of your being as you breathe out. Allow yourself to completely surrender to the feeling
of light, of warmth within that emanates from your heart. And simply be in that space. And for these next few moments, slowly begin to bring a hint of awareness back to your body. Within your toes, your fingers, bending one knee up and then the other. Resting one hand on your heart, just to anchor in the awareness of the wisdom of the heart, to anchor in whatever positive feeling, love or peace or gratitude, whatever is true for you. Just anchor that feeling, that awareness into your heart center as you breathe in and out through the heart. And then gently roll to your side, resting for a few breaths. Use your hands for support as you come on back up to a seat. And sitting with your spine tall, your shoulders soft. As you bring your hands to Andre and Mudra, do so with the intention of just really anchoring in that positive feeling within of your heart. And then bowing to honor that innate wisdom that resides in your heart at all times. Namaste.